share, get on the right, is go to Chrome. Yep, okay, I'm on the right page. So what I'm going to do is go to Chrome. And this is as though I had clicked through to an application site. This is actually Cameo's test site. So I can put a dummy application in here basically. And that's what I'm going to be doing with you guys today. But it's exactly what it should look exactly like what would happen with one of your clients if you went to one of the partner sites and said, I'd like to apply, you'd end up at this page over here. So here, I've been using some fake data over here, but what I'm going to do today is start a new application with a new. So if you're going to sign into an existing account, you do it on the right. If you're going to start a new application, you do it on the left. And today we're going to go here and start a new application. So this is where you end up right away. And these headings are exactly the same, but there's the thing to look at. The right-hand side is for nonprofits and the left-hand side is for for-profits. So if you're helping small business owners, please go to the left-hand side of this two-sided page. If you're working with nonprofit organizations, you go over here and hit that apply button. Okay, so we're going to go over here on the for-profit side and click apply now. And we get to this very first page where you just give your basic information. So I'm going to go ahead and put some information in here. And I have a dummy email address. You guys know about Yotmail.
Do you want to answer on the nonprofit side whose photo ID should be provided? I believe it's either the president of the board or the ED. That's it.
Not asking me, are you?
No, I'm asking Sue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Want to check in with Cal Nonprofits? That would be great, Judy. Or check the FAQ.
There's somebody needing in. This is a little boring, but I'm just hoping this might clarify some things.
My favorite business person to put in is Marilyn Monroe, just so you know. That's my test application.
So, and right down here, I would suggest if your client has any kind of cell phone, I would click this button, so that you would get text notifications as well as emails. I think it would be important to receive both. That's my feeling. So here's my suggestion. I've just completed the first section, and before I hit continue, I'm going to take a screenshot of this and even grab the URL up here. You know what I mean? So that, that is my suggestion. And like, here I am in my computer. What I would do is go to, I'll just like find a place. This is like my Cameo computer, but here's my, here's my email address. I would just, however you want to do it, I just going to call it screenshot 1 or something. So now I've saved it. So I've captured the URL, I've captured my email address, I've captured the phone number, I've captured everything, and I can hit continue. I think I can hit continue. Come on. Now this is interesting. It's not continuing.
Oh no.
Did I make a typo somewhere? I've done this 3 times today.
I don't know.
Here we go. That's interesting. Let me
Do you have your screenshot? Do you have your screenshots?
I just closed my screenshot.
No, your screen. Did you? Oh.
Let me stop sharing for just a sec and see what happens if I don't. If I just go back. Oh, you see, it didn't want to do it in Zoom. So I may have to stop sharing every time. Okay, guys. Sorry. Kind of weird, right?
Oh, interesting. Interesting. That's it. That could be
do it while I was screen sharing.
Interesting.
So I did hit continue, and then it opened up the next section for me. okay, which is owner details. Susan Brown, here's this, owner address, Main Street, Shasta, that is where I live. I'm in California, owner zip, owner county. I'm gonna go ahead and put my, who knows where the name Siskiyou came, I mean, Native American name. Date of birth, I think I'll just one here, my social security number. And percentage ownership. I'm going to fill this out as if I were a, a sole proprietor. And you can just put 100% in there. You can use these up and down arrows. And then I want to I click terms and conditions. Again, I'm going to take a screenshot of this puppy and just make sure I remember where it all is. And save it again to a screenshot. Call it screen 2. And I know this is tedious, but I guess I did this a few times today. And I guess what I would say is, I feel like just taking the time to do these things. Oh, now it's working. It's processing. Okay. Owner details have been saved successfully. Yay. We can move on to the next section. Business informations. Okay. So here, Susan's greatest idea ever, DBA, doing business as. If they don't have a doing business as, so like my actual business name is Susan Brown Consulting. Because I'm operating under my name, I don't need a DBA. But if I had a business named, My Dog Sprout, I would have to have a DBA, and I would put, My Dog Sprout over here. Otherwise, since I don't have a DBA, let's just say I'm going to put none there. Business EIN is going to be the social security number, or if it's a corporation or an employer, you'll have an EIN number. Business phone, business type. I'm going to say I am a sole proprietor. State of incorporation. Now, as a sole proprietor, I am not incorporated, but I'm still going to put California in there. Okay. Business address. Remember, it says do not use PO boxes.
So Susan, even if I'm not incorporated, that just means where your business is. State of incorporation just means where your business is located, and it better be California because this is only for California businesses.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah. County, again, it's going to ask me this again. Let me find Siskiyou. There I am. My zip code. Going, date established my business. Let's go back a little bit in time and say I did it on January 1st of that year. And business URL site. Now, this is so interesting. If they have a business website, they need to put it in there. If not, they have to type these words, none.com. Okay. So now I'm done with this section. Even though I could go on to the next section, I'm going to take a screenshot. So I hope this is helpful for people, but I just keep bringing this up as a way to sort of demonstrate, even though this is a little tedious, I think this is better than getting, losing information and not remembering where anything is and struggling. So I don't know.
Susan, this is Mercedes. You bring up a really good question there. You put in January 1st. Oh, did you put
2000?
2000, because you have to have been in business by June of 2019, correct?
Okay. Exactly. Yeah.
If you put in the wrong date, will it refuse your application?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Okay.
So how can we help you? Purpose of grant. So here we're on the next section. So you could write payroll, rent, mortgage, utilities, group health care. I'm just going to say other, because I think a lot of people might just need help with overhead. I mean, I don't know that. It's just kind of my guess. Hopefully you've helped people know how much they're eligible for. People, who knows what kind of numbers people will put in there if they haven't read the guidelines and they don't know that like a small business is only eligible for 5,000. So I think it's interesting that they ask that question. But I would just coach your clients on what the eligible amounts are. Then will this create new jobs? Yes or no? I'm going to say no. I think some people are just trying to stay afloat. Number of full-time employees. Now, someone I hope on the line has a question. If you're a sole proprietor and you're just employing yourself, I don't know if that counts for a job or not. In the old micro enterprise days, it always did. I don't know what Lendistry is.
They said either
assuming.
way.
Either
That
way,
was a question
okay.
We've gotten in the past that said either way.
Perfect. Number of jobs created in 2020, I'm going to say 0. Annual revenue. So this is what I mean. You don't have to upload your tax returns at this point, but look at this. It should match your tax return. So if you're trying to fill this out at this stage and you don't have your tax return, I feel like you could mess yourself up by putting in the wrong number. So I just feel like it behooves everybody to have that tax return before you start an application. So I'm just going to put in, let's say $50,000. Oops, and I think they don't like commas. That's the other thing. I'm not 100% sure. I prefer commas. So personally, I think they're easier, but I don't think the system lets you put in commas. Okay, number of part-time employees in 2020, I'm going to say 0. Number of jobs retained in 2021, I'm going to say I retained my own job. Okay. So again, I would take a screenshot of this. And if you guys want me to stop this whole screenshot thing, you can tell me. I don't mean to be beating a dead horse. I'm just kind of showing you what I thought, even though as tedious this is sort of what I was doing to capture, step by step. Since this seems to be what happens is people just lose track of all this. Business demographics. Okay. So B2B, B2C, or both. Now, of course, a lot of our business owners don't know this. So they do have this thing now where they don't tell you really what business to business means. They spell out what B2B is, but some people won't even quite know what that means. What it means is you're a business that sells to other businesses, you're a business that sells directly to consumers, or you're a business that does both. So I'm going to say I do. Now, what happens is some of these drop-down lists change depending on how you answer these questions. So what type of business is it? Come on, drop-down list. Now, here we go. My drop-down list isn't working, is it? Maybe I have to do this one first. See, this is, okay. I will be honest with you guys. I actually had this problem already today. Let me stop sharing and see if I can get that link to work. Sorry, everybody. I will tell you, this already happened to me today where I was having a hard time making some of these links work.
Is it not working on your test?
It's not working. Oh, wait. Yes, it did. Okay. Sorry. So let me share my screen again. So I went over here first and chose that I sell products, even though I already said I'm a service business. I did report to our relationship manager that this seems like an odd set of choices. I sell to businesses. I've already said I'm a service business, and the choices I have here are manufacturer, sells products. Oh wait, service business. There we go. Okay, thank you. There we go. What type of business is it? Entertainment, hotels, personal services, business service. There we go. Now it's working. Sorry about that. Tell us more. See, this is the one I thought was weird. Computer-related personal supply services, equipment rental, leasing, services to dwelling or other reporting agencies. Now I use my up arrow and down arrow, and these are my only choices, so I don't really understand what that means exactly. But let's go here. You have to enter your NAICS code, and you can click here to find your Find your NAICS. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And Susan, I just want to say, like, this is a good lesson in being patient when you're trying to fill out these applications, because sometimes the system is getting hung up, and if you wait just a few minutes, then you can.
So I put in business consulting services, and you could go through a jillion of these to find the right one, but I'm just going to choose this one of administrative management ones just to have a number to put in. And I tried to cut and paste, but if you click on this, you get sent to a link. And so anyways, I just wrote it down on a piece of paper, and then I go back to my application and just put it in here. So it's I hope this is helpful. If it's not helpful, obviously you can just drop off, but let me see, what is it still giving me? It's still giving me these odd choices here. So I'm not, let me just keep going and see. Women-owned business, I'm gonna say yes. Disabled, I'm gonna say no. Ethnicity, it's really interesting here, but I'm gonna say non-Hispanic. Rural, I'm going to say yes. So tell us more. I told my relationship manager I don't understand these choices, so I'm just gonna click one. Computer related, I'm not sure what those are. Veteran, no. Race, white. Franchise, no. Okay.
Susan, sorry, it's Lucia. I think this
Yes.
is the main problem that our clients had, because they didn't understand that the first thing that you have to do is answer, what does your business do? What they did is what you did before.
Yes.
If you are in the first question, then you go to the question down this, right?
This one.
Yeah, and when you do this, you have the problem that you had.
Right.
So this is
And we even got some direction to go from left to right. But in this case, you had to go across the top and then it allowed you to go down.
exactly, and the idea is that you have to go left, right, because the tell us more is related with what you put in what type of business is it. So
yeah.
So
I still find this drop-down list kind of odd.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on what you put in what type of business is it.
I know, but business services, this still seems like an odd list to me.
Legal.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if I were an accountant? I mean, I don't know, whatever.
There aren't enough options there.
Yeah, so you know what, I would choose whatever kind of is the most logical and just kind of keep going, I think. So, all right. So I can't remember if I took
Susan, one request, could you drop down the race option to see what's available right there?
Sure.
And leave it there for a second.
So here, I gotta scroll. It says African American, Alaskan Native, American Indian, Asian, Hawaiian Native, other Pacific Islander, white or not disclosed.
Yes, and the problem with that list is that Latinos, most don't fall under none of those.
I know. So
That's
why their
ethnicity.
ethnicity is over here, Hispanic or Latino, non-Hispanic Latino, or not disclosed.
Unfortunately.
Yes, but if you ask me my race and I respond that I'm Hispanic or Latino and I want to choose my race, none of those are my race. I'm not white. I'm not Native American.
Right.
And I'm not, so it's kind of, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I had questions about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to offer something that they are using traditional census criteria, and Latinos, even though we are part indigenous, are considered, from the census perspective, we are considered white unless we identify as Afro-Latino.
Which is not correct.
We know that, but that's as far as they've gotten.
I know. Thank you, Mercedes.
So maybe
Thank you, Susan.
Maybe
Sure.
not disclosed is the way to answer that question for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know, but this is one of the ways you get eligible. It's part of the algorithm. So I am hoping that if for Latinos, if they end up choosing white or not disclosed here, that this answer over here as Hispanic or Latino works it out in the algorithm, but we don't know. We don't have any information about that, right? So that's kind of confusing. All right, so then we get down to disclosures here. Is your business 51% minority or veteran owned? And I'm kind of answering as I am, I'd say no. What is the gross revenue for your business? Now here's what's tricky. What is the gross revenue for your business for these 6 months in 2019? So not only do your clients have to have a tax return, but they almost have to estimate, do they have monthly? I mean, I'd be interested to hear from people on the call. How do you get a partial year gross revenue for your clients? I mean, most people don't have a monthly P&L, right? Or do they estimate for you? I'd be so interested to know how people are doing this.
I'm sorry to always be popping in here, but what I've suggested to people, particularly because they have seasonal businesses,
Mhm.
they may have all of their business in, because they're a tax accountant, in Q1 and Q2.
Mhm.
But I've suggested they take their 4-year total, divide by 4, multiply by 2.
Yep. Okay. Got it. You know, that answers this a question Nancy Swift answered today. I think I love what that answer, because I feel like that's what they're trying to get at. The reason they're asking for 2019 versus 2020 is they're trying to assess COVID impact. And this was this is when the first 6 months of COVID is what they were trying to ascertain. But there's a lot of ways gross revenue impact
I
could
do have
occur
have a
over the
recommendation.
course of a year. So I think this is a really interesting thing to try to work through with your clients.
This is Frank. I have a recommendation, and that would be to review your bank statements for that period. It would show
There we
the
go. Thank you, Frank. Excellent idea. If you can get monthly bank statements and just look at total deposits for those months on those 2 years, that would be another fantastic way to do it. Any other suggestions? 2 great ones so far.
I just, I have QuickBooks Online for the organization I applied for, and I just selected the date range and ran a report based on that date range.
And that's the most accurate and easy way to go. I just think many of the people on the call are working with people who don't have QuickBooks. And so they don't have that ability to run a P&L by various date fields. Okay, just to finish this up, why don't we put some numbers here? And I want to put in numbers that would technically make me eligible. So what we want to do is show, I think I put that in 2019, my total revenues were 50,000 earlier in the application. So I'm going to put in that, you know, for April to September, my total revenues were 30,000 in 2019, but in 2020, that same era, they had gone down. Okay, because I did have some COVID impact. Is your business currently in need of advising or technical assistance? Hopefully, some of you who are TA providers, people will say yes to that. Is your business currently in need of a loan? Who knows, people might say yes or no to that. And then the last question is, during the last 9 months, has your business received any COVID-related emergency funding? So that's PPP, EIDL, maybe there's a local community program or something like that. They could answer yes or no to that. And again, I would sit here and take a screenshot of this and make sure I remember exactly what my answers were. Save it to the same file. I'm saving everything else. And then, yeah, so good. We made it through the application, and then I'm going to hit submit. So all I've done so far is finish the application. Once you have submitted your application, you will no longer be able to edit your responses. If you are agreeing that the information is accurate, please type yes. So what I could do is, if I'm not sure it's accurate, or I want some time to go over it with a consultant, I could say save and continue later, or I can type yes and submit basically my application.
Then you can't edit it.
You can't edit it without a big hassle. So
Okay.
what I would do is I go over to my Yop mail over here, check for new emails. Hopefully I've got an email. I don't seem to have any new emails. So maybe last time I did this, it actually popped up right away. No email for me. Oh, I know, because I put in the wrong number. Here we go. There we go. Look I got an email. Yay. Thank you for applying for the California Relief Grant. The link below will take you to your portal. So here they give you and they give you this. I would take a screenshot. Oh my God, don't lose this. They're going to give you this temporary, excuse me, I keep getting these notifications on my, let me turn this off. Okay, thank you. I would definitely take a screenshot of this again, save this puppy someplace, because just in case you log in wrong or something. 6. I'm saving, saving, saving. In the meantime, I would do something like copy this thing. See, this is what I do. Go to a Word doc. I don't know if you can see my Word doc screen, but I just saved it to a Word doc just to have it. Like, don't, oops, in fact, I even saved it wrong, didn't I? Let me do it again. It's really important not to lose this weird little, you know, goofy thing they give you here, because who's going to remember that, right? So if I click here to log in, I should be able to log in. So I'm back where I started, and I should be able to log in now. Because it's Susan 896 at yopmail.com. And then I put that wonky email, that wonky thing right there. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and I can sign in. Ooh, reset your password. Right, so now I'm going to reset my password.
So something you remember.
Using my Cameo password that I use for all kinds of things. Okay.
Yay! Oh, look, you applied, Susan.
I applied. And so I think given the time, Heidi, it's time to upload documents, but it's 4:12. And I feel like this whole uploading document thing is probably a half an hour discussion in and of itself. What I'd love to do is say that, when's our next one, Tuesday?
The next one is on Tuesday. The important thing as far as the deadline is you get as far as Susan's, what Susan just did today. So we should have, you know, you can get your clients start going on Tuesday to once the portal's open without, you know, if you get that far, that's great. And then do the, you know, if you need help with the document upload, we'll do a train the trainer on Tuesday, and we'll make sure.
Yeah, I can take that same account and we can go through the document upload on Tuesday.
That sounds great. And then
and answer any other questions you guys as best we can. Yep. The other thing, Heidi, are you and Mega inviting questions for us to add to our FAQ or not?
Sure, we can absolutely add more questions to the FAQ. I am going to try and add the ones that we get from the morning meetings.
Well, could you share the screen for the upload? At least do that.
You mean right now?
Correct.
Okay.
And then while she's doing that,
okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is the part we're going to go over, and I will tell you, I am in a test site right now. And today, when I tried to upload docs, it didn't work, but we'll try again on Tuesday. Heidi, we can talk to our own relationship manager and just make sure that this is functioning in our test site by Tuesday, so we can demonstrate.
Oh, Chris says there's some on-demand videos on how to upload documents. You can watch those on the weekend. And Chris, I'm going to guess those are on the California Relief Grant website.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So please do that. But we will demonstrate it here for you on Tuesday. There's a couple other questions in the chat that I want to just make sure I get to is, when will the grants for round 2 fund? Notifications, I think, Susan, you had that in your PowerPoint. Notifications start.
Let me go back to that for you, Heidi.